Hello everybody, welcome to an English stream. Once in a while we get those back. We're gonna play Boneraiser Minion, a game made by one person. We already played another game from the person, is Spirit Abyss, also very highly rated. I had a lot of fun with it, but we didn't play too much. It was basically like a spin on Spelunky, and this is a spin on Vampire Survivors with a focus on resurrecting minions. So you're gonna be fighting a lot of enemies, and you're going to be amassing a horde of allies to fight for you, probably automatically. So let's see how it works. I already did the settings, so we should be fine. And otherwise, all that's missing is basically me to find out what we can do here. So here we seem to be able to learn stuff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe improve some aspects of our minions. Here we have some sort of upgrade paths, also known probably as a skill tree, I guess. And these are hats, and this is the online leaderboard. That seems to be some kind of minion, I don't know. And it's one of the most revered games from the genre, and it was in early access, I think, for approximately a year. So yeah, there have been some improvements, I guess. I didn't play it until now because I just wanted to wait for the full release. And yeah, so here there seem to be game modes, and people really like this game. And what is immediately apparent is that the developer has kept to his art style. So his signature art style is a very lo-fi, low-res retro style, almost like a bit pre-SNES style wise. I don't know what exact console you would attribute this to, but it definitely is a bit more low-res than an SNES game, and it is very cool aesthetic, and I think it's gonna fit the game very well because the abstract nature of the aesthetic can be a little bit of an issue when you play a game like Spelunky. I mean, it's pretty hard to tell sometimes what is. But I think that the game type maybe suits the aesthetic a little bit more because it's not as obfusc. But I don't know. Let's just play the game and find out if we actually are gonna see that way. Okay, so this seems to be our first minion, and we have to collect bones. And the first difference, and one of the reasons why I even gave the game a chance, is because it actually plays within an arena and not a semi-endless scrolling arena. So yeah, the scrolling part of Vampire Survivors is one of the parts I didn't enjoy too much because it basically gave you too many degrees of freedom, and the design was basically unhinged, and it was, I think it was a bit too easy, it was a bit too samey, and I didn't really like the feel of just walking endlessly in a direction. Just felt like kind of boring, and I liked it overall. Vampire Survivors, we had a little bit of issues streaming the game. We actually were one of the first channels on Twitch to try out the game before it was a big hype, but yeah, it didn't work. It didn't capture, so luckily this game captures. Oh wait, I didn't change the streaming language to English, I'm sorry, my bad. I usually try to think of that before starting. Yeah, because we didn't do it for so long, I completely forgot about that. I just came back from Japan like 1.5 weeks ago, but I'm not going to talk about Japan too much on the English stream because we kind of kept that for the German stream. There might be a day where I start talking about it in English, but the story is not finished in German, so I'm just going to go and sit back and play the game instead of talking about random shit, because we don't have a lot of time. We probably have like maybe half an hour to maximum an hour to play. So yeah. Okay, so Bone Raise from the Grave. We don't know any of those. They're all unknown. So just pick the top one, I guess. We discovered Raise Eye Popper Archer. And you already see Archer, I'm sorry. Not Archer, Archer. And basically what you can already tell here is that they have the same selection mechanic from Vampire Survivors without the annoying slot sound. It's fun at first, but it gets really annoying. The animation is so long in Vampire Survivors. I don't know if there's an option for that yet, but it was kind of annoying after a while. And maybe the game doesn't need to be a slot machine from a sound perspective. Oh, and Diablo 4 is out. Well, the closed buy in beta or whatever. If you could get some keys, I think from streams or whatever, but there weren't that many. But basically, if you pre-ordered the game, you can get access. And by the way, if you really want to access for Diablo 4 and you don't want to pre-order the game, really just buy it and just cancel the pre-order afterwards. So you can always get easy access that way for free if you care. Will I be playing Diablo 4? I mean, first of all, the opinion seems to be very, very positive surrounding the game. So it seems to be a very good Diablo game. And that kind of matches my initial impression of the combat, but I didn't know if the shared world aspect of the game would be annoying, but it seems to be very good. So that being said, the really open beta starts next Friday, and unfortunately, very, very unfortunately for Blizzard, they were dumb enough to put it on the launch of Resident Evil 4 remake. So I will not be playing probably Diablo 4, and if I will probably split it between Diablo 4 and Resident Evil 4 remake. And the thing is, basically, well, how do I put it? And they will be in German, both of them. There's no chance that one of either game will be below 1,000 viewers on Twitch. So unfortunately, it's going to be in German. So we are a bilingual stream. And big games like, that have a lot of viewers on Twitch will be in German, and small games with very few viewers like Boneraiser Minions, unless, I don't know, Northern Line or somebody plays it, then it has like 9,000 viewers. But at the moment, the last time I checked, it had like 0 viewers. So these games are going to be in English because there is already a very limited audience. Okay, so, and we are a small channel, so we have no chance of ever being discovered when we play AAA games in our... in English. There's no way. So yeah, so that's why we are bilingual, and I also want to practice my English because I really need to get better at speaking. I think my understanding and reading comprehension, my speaking and reading comprehension is almost native, but my writing is also pretty good, but my speaking and my articulation, all that stuff is pretty messed up because I just never get the chance to practice. So I thought it would be a great idea to actually just stream in English from time to time, so I don't really, I win even if I lose, basically. Every second I get to practice English is basically a good idea. Okay, so, yeah, so we have a Raisin Eye Popper Arch. We're not going to talk about that every time. It's just because we didn't stream in English for sometimes. So just a heads up for the new German viewers why we're doing it. And already did it in German just recently because I knew we were going to stream this game, which was very likely going to be in English. Yeah. Okay. The necromancer will now also be revealed in future runs. Raise a fresh eye popper archer, archer, skelly minion to thy legion, who accurately snipes its boned arrow from afar. Okay, it's a ranged minion. Here you can see it, and now we have a melee one with presumably a sword because I have no idea actually. Dash, yes. Wait. I'm so confused. Okay, we don't have a dash, I guess, or is this a meme? You can't actually dash in the game. I actually don't know. Yeah, we don't know what it is, so we can just pick whatever. It's an archer bone bolster. Upgrades to level 1 eye popper archer minion to level 2. Fires extra and more damaging bone arrows. Okay, so it's basically a level up for our archer, and now he has a spread shot shooting 3 arrows, which seems pretty good. They don't seem to have HP, so I wasn't sure if the game was gonna rely on my minions tanking. Well, that does not seem to be the case. Okay, so are we just gonna go all in on one minion? I have no idea. Let's just try it out. And there might be an optimal strategy. We have no idea. So let's just go for level 2. Extra and even more damaging bone arrows. Okay. So now we can see that he shoots 4 arrows. No, 5? 5? I think it's 5. Yeah. 5 arrows. We got a hat. Yeah, a wizard hat. I think that's just cosmetics. I don't think there is any gameplay advantage to that. But there might be, so I don't really know. Okay, so it's pretty chill so far. The movement is kind of samey to Vampire Survivors, and it has, unfortunately, which is really, really unfortunate, for whatever fucking reason, they copied the analog. Oh shit, we lost HP. Right, we have HP. We don't die immediately. I kind of forgot about that. Oh, they despawn. Oh, okay. So what don't I like already? And that's very unfortunate. Is that there is I think it is, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's an 8-directional movement system, and unfortunately not an analog movement system. So we don't have 360 degrees of freedom. We just have actually 8, and that makes moving in a precise manner very, very difficult, and is a very, very unfortunate thing to be in to happen, because I think that you should always, in, you know, a game where the main gameplay is actually the character walking and evading minions, should basically always have analog movement supported on gamepad, even though there will be no parity between keyboard and mouse that way, but that is fine. It should be designed in a way that both are viable, but you should not squander the gamepad controls just because a mouse and keyboard sucks ass when it comes to analog movement. Okay, so this is going to be my first feedback regarding the game in the forum, because I think that is something that will not change. It's basically bad. It is bad design. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so the post out. Oh yeah, it is an English stream, Apricon. Finally, yeah, right. And by the way, you can always write German in the chat or English, no matter what the language of the current stream is. So yeah, feel free to actually write whatever language you want, and I will translate or at least paraphrase your intention to the viewers in the language we're currently playing. Okay, so wait, somebody wrote me. And I started a new anime. It's called in Japanese it's called Kage no what is Kage no Jitsuryu Kusha or something. It's like the eminence of the shadows or something in English, and it's a very fun anime. It is basically I don't know how to put it. It's very weird. It's an isekai, so it is like you get the you know, the type of anime where a character comes into and is reborn into a different world, and it is a very weird one, but it's actually pretty good, and it's also highly rated on my anime list, and I think so far rightfully so, but it's very strange at the start, and then it gets a bit less strange, and then I don't know. I'm very, very interested to see where it's gonna go. Is this a Vodafone Telecom stream? Fortunately, it is still a it is still a Vodafone stream, because I think the bitrate is asked. We already capped at 3K, and the average bitrate was measured at 2K, so we are gonna drop some frames. And tomorrow is the installation process. I thought we could maybe you know, do it a bit sooner, but I found out that actually if you want to do it manually without somebody coming by, you actually can only get it later. It's really dumb. We would have had nobody come by, and we could have tried it manually on the 23rd of March, and now if we have the technician come over, it's going to be tomorrow. So yeah, why would I ever try it manually if actually the technician's going to come by sooner. I mean, they tried. They want to save money, you know. They don't want to have somebody come by because it's free for me, but it costs them money. So they try to actually make me try it out myself. But since it's later, there's no way I'm going to try it. Yeah, so it is Vodafone, and it's going to be complete ass. And it's only going to be for like maybe 15 more minutes. I know, never mind. It's going to be for like 34 more minutes. Then my girlfriend's going to come home with food and I'm going to eat. And I'm just assuming that it's going to be more ass later on. So I'm just going to say we are going to have one last Vodafone stream. And hopefully tomorrow, whenever the technician's going to come by, DSL is going to work out and we are not going to have any issues. The router's already there, so that should be fine. I'm going to plug it in later because you are supposed to plug it in, I think, before the technician comes by. I don't even know if he needs to come up here, maybe just to measure the signal strength maybe, but I think it's more about the repeater in downstairs in the cellar or something. Okay, so Boneraiser minions, we just raised a Trapper Impling, and wait, what does it do? It constructs claw traps to snare unaware meanies. Okay, so it's basically a trap setter. Wait, oh, I didn't walk. Okay, so wait, this is my trap, right? Yeah. Wait, it's so fast. Oh my god. Is this some kind of boss? He's dead. Okay, it does play very different from Vampire Survivors because your minions are not you. So your shots don't come from your body, so it's a bit more difficult to actually kill enemies. But yeah, unfortunately, 8-directional movement really makes the analog stick feel like pretty ass, to be honest. On keyboard and mouse, you're not going to notice, but if you are playing with an analog stick, unfortunately, it does feel pretty bad to move around, which is very unfortunate. Another game we played also at the issue was called, I don't know, it was like a Binding of Isaac roguelike, well, very samey roguelike with a spaceship, and they, for whatever reason, made a bullet hell game where you don't have analog movement. I just don't know why devs would ever do that. I mean, I'm not playing with a digital input, so why would I not use the analog one? Okay, I have actually no idea. It's a relic. Okay, it's different. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna spawn ghosts random. The Boo Bro Minion Boneraiser cap by 1. I have literally no idea what it means. Yeah, I'm dead. Okay. A local high store. I'm number 1 on my PC. That's amazing. And we are 93,000 online high score. I mean, that's pretty good. I guess we are probably ranking very low. Assuming that every person can be ranked once on the leaderboard. But you can tell there are a lot of people playing the game actually. A won card. I have no idea what that means. Okay, we are back here. Okay, so we stole some gold coins we can use at the Meta altar, and we're gonna get stronger, I guess. So it might be a roguelite. So maybe we are really weak at the start of the game, and it's actually impossible to win. So that might be the case, or but I think we could still have easily made a few more minutes happen. Okay, so if we find hero skulls, they might be bestowed an unusual new talent specific to the character class thou have chosen. Okay. So Friday of Death touch tenderly grips thee for each time thou shalt rise against to become an ever more powerful wretch. Okay, I mean, sure, why not, I guess. Wait, we can actually respec. Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's why not buy the dash actually? That's also pretty cool. But can we do it multiple times? Yeah, we can. Okay, so we can get iframes. Iframes when dashing sounds pretty good. A1 station charges up a super dash. Well, that sounds a bit more complicated. More iframes when hurt is also pretty good. Oh, that's great. Yeah. The bone sucking is what I really would like, because why is it so important? Because it just speeds up how many bones you can get, and it actually enables you to be more liberal in your pathing. So yeah. Non-bone pickups shall also be sucked over an ampler range. Okay, so that's pretty funny how they word it. Can we buy anything? I think we can actually buy this one, yeah. I have no idea how it works. Period appear, ripe for plunder. Okay, that seems pretty good too, and we unfortunately don't have the money for it, but I already like how the I don't know if it's a skill tree or whatever, but how the progression system works. It seems to be meaningful stuff. It's just not like do 10% more damage, which is also very always very appreciated in games, because I think just percentual damage increases, especially in roguelites, just tends to make the game very unfun at the start of the game and very boring towards the end, because you're just so overpowered when it comes to stats. But maybe there is something like that in the game, and we will I don't really get it. Oh wait, so this is basically just the tech tree for the things we can find in the game. So this is a non-interactable map, I guess, and we can just tell which minions need to what evolutions and whatever. And it's a bit weird we can't actually look at them here, but I don't think we can really interact here. Okay, we can change a class. We are not going to do that, I think, until we beat the game with the default class. Here we can choose a hat. I'm assuming we unlock the wizard hat. And we also have cloaks. Yeah, so we can maybe use the blood drip clothes. I think we're just gonna stay with our basic drip until we beat the game once, and then we're just gonna go for whatever else the game has to offer until then. Okay, second run, and we really have to, I think, stick around our minion. Maybe. I actually don't know. At the start of the game, maybe, that we can easily suck up the bones to get a better minion. We also don't know what this one does. I think it's just gonna upgrade our current minion, I think. There are fresh grave guards coming into the Thy Legion, who swings their sharp sword shaft with a spiteful smile. This necromancer will now also be revealed in the future ones. Okay, so basically it is just the same guy again. I mean, it's very similar. I think it's a bit stronger. He has a bigger AoE on the sword attack, but yeah, we should definitely pick up the bones. So I think how it works is we fill the percentage to 100%. You can see in the top middle. And once it hits 100%, we are going to get an upgrade. So basically, like vampires, survivors, just bones instead of money. Right? I think no, crystals instead of crystals. I'm just going to stick to upgrading one minion. Yeah, greater range and damage. I'm assuming range in this case also means AoE, but we will see that right away. Yeah, unfortunately he's camping in the top left corner, which is not very useful for us. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see where the best way to play the game is, because it's so different from Vampire Survivors when it comes to where the attacks come from. So maybe camping your own minion is going to be very effective or very stupid, depending on how strong they are. Okay, so here we know what it does. I don't care, let's just go here. Level 2 Graveguard, range level 3, with swings are okay, is basically just the better version. I mean, it is a lot better. The AoE is pretty big now. Yeah, so sticking around that guy seems to be very useful, because we get the loot anyway. He's not going to kill anything far away. Okay, so Sneaky Peasantry arouse the champion. Yeah, I think we're basically killing the peasantry in the game, so very lore accurate video game. An unknown necromancy race Jinx Witch. Okay, Hex's minis boosting the damage they suffer by 40%. So basically it just debuffs for additional damage. Which seems like a very bad minion to get early in the game, but a very good minion for late game. I think it's not going to do a lot. I mean, it's going to be so interesting to see if we need to kite. Yeah, we need to kite them into the damage zone, so it's going to be very cool. from a gameplay perspective. How much gold do we have? 1,000. Okay, we're gonna get a lot of upgrades after this one. I mean, I'm just gonna pick the top one. Let's be honest, I have no idea what they are, so... A hex single remains for much longer. Well, is that good or bad? I died. Why could it be bad? Because we actually have to go over and over back to the sigil, and I don't know if it's better if you just recast it. I'm only second locally, really? And we got so much more money, right? Oh no, we don't. We actually got a lot less money, so we actually suck ass. I thought we are gonna get 1-to-1 the money from the game, but that seems to be not the case. Okay, I think it's a good idea to get a magic treasure chest and by class heritage metaphor. What does that even mean? All right, we can unlock the second skill tree for 3,333 coins. We're not gonna do that. That seems pretty pointless. I think that sounds pretty good too. And here, I mean, that sounds pretty good too, to be honest. Oh yeah, we can't actually cast at the moment. Yeah, so we don't have the money. Okay, so we're done here, I guess. So when it's green is level 1, gold is level 2, or yellow, and pink is maxed out. Okay. This is a new game. I kind of like it. It is pretty new. It launched like in early access 1 year ago, but the final release was, I think, this month or something. I think like maybe a week ago or something. And it was made by one person, so always keep that in mind when you see the game. And it's very cheap. It's like it is like Vampire Survivors really made a bunch of games which are incredibly cheap for what you get out of them. And I think it's like maybe $3 or something, $3 or $4. And there is, I think, a launch sale at the moment, but it is so cheap. So yeah, you could actually just buy it even if you don't really know if you're gonna like it, because it might not even hurt your wallet too much. And I don't know if it's out for anything else than PC though at the moment. I don't know. But later on, I would assume that he's just going to port it to Switch or something, because I think it could find a lot of people, a big audience there for probably minimal effort. But like I said, one guy, same guy who made Spirit Abyss, we played on stream a while ago. And yeah, so big fan of the guy's work and very consistent art style, which you might like or not like. And by the way, if you don't like how the text looks, I can show that maybe. Where's that? Conjures a blast of sorcery and projectiles. Weirdo warlock. Okay, so I'm going to show you. You can go into settings, and you can also. You have a lot of settings, by the way, which I didn't touch at the moment. But you can actually also put in Super HD as a font. Well, it's not really Super HD, it's more like slightly pixelated. But yeah, so you can choose how much you want to have, how much pixelation you want to have on the font. And some people really dislike fonts being pixelated. So if you don't like it, you can go for Super HD. 2x resolution is the default. And if you're really old school, you can go for almost, I can't read anything, very low res art style. But unfortunately for the rest of the game, I think there is no setting, as far as I can tell at least, that makes the game. You can put it on light mode probably. I don't know what it does. Maybe it does I have no idea. Maybe it makes everything gray instead of black or something. Yeah, but basically you can't make the game HD, so there is no option for that, which is okay. It doesn't really matter. And the game seems to be rendering at least 60 FPS. It could even render at a 240 FPS. It's a bit hard to tell actually, but it feels very responsive, and there is minimal blur when moving the camera. So I have no idea. It could be 60, 120, or 240. It's very hard to tell because the game doesn't feature too much high motion content anyway. So the scrolling is pretty slow. Yeah. And basically it's Vampire Survivors with raising minions, and as far as I'm concerned, a lot of people prefer it to Vampire Survivors, but I can't tell if I do or not. So you will have to wait for a few hours maybe until I can actually tell you if I like it better. But I already have a better first impression because Vampire Survivors actually didn't capture, and visually it is pretty bad. It's pretty bad, to be honest. I don't like the art style of Vampire Survivors too much, and this one looks pretty cool. Okay, so there's a new warlock who is more damaging projectiles, can pierce minis. Okay. Yeah, so now we have a piercing caster that seems to be casting Hadokos. Yeah, and the biggest downside in that is definitely something that will not change, my opinion, is the 8-directional movement. So if you're a mouse and keyboard, that doesn't really matter, but if you're on controller, you'll definitely be limited in your input for actually no reason. I don't know why the dev would ever... I mean, it does make the game easier, of course, but if the controls are better and the game becomes easier as a result, usually you should still make the controls better and maybe adjust some other settings to make it, you know, maybe achieve parity with mouse and keyboard difficulty, which might actually have other advantages. I don't know. It's very simple. You have 2 keys actually besides movement. Probably the 2 mouse buttons, if I would guess, on PC. And yeah, and you can rebind all of them. It's a very simple game, so it's unfortunate that one of the 2 controls actually is pretty bad. Bad when it comes to design, not implementation. Okay, upgrades level 2. Okay, it was home in. Okay, is that good? There are always so many enemies, so I don't know. But yeah, it seems to be good because it's gonna stay on screen a bit longer, because there actually is a border around the level, which is very different from Vampire Survivors, for example. But I also must add there are a lot of good clones. So if you like the genre, there are so many games, and I didn't play any of them besides Vampire Survivors. So there might actually be a lot of cool other games you can play. I know there are a lot of highly rated games because it's very simple to make this type of game. I think it is a very good game if you're a first-time developer, which this guy, by the way, isn't, but also if you're a very experienced developer, because it's a game you're gonna be finishing in maybe, I don't know, half a year or something, and it's gonna add a lot of, you know, potential revenue for almost no effort. So it's like, it is a big win for your development cycle. So I would say it's easy to get into, it's easy to make, and it probably would be like a fun game to try out game development on. So it is very simple. And people seem to like the base gameplay loop so much that you're gonna end up probably making a fun game regardless of how, you know, good it is made. Yeah, people just like the gameplay loop very much, and it's very simple to implement. So unless you really fuck up the difficulty, it should be fine. Okay, I mean, we are always gonna just pick the one we don't know, just to get more information. A Boneraiser, nogging to later return. So we now have a lot of arcing attacks, I guess. In general, we have a lot of ranged minions. We have an archer, I think. We have a caster. No, we don't have an archer. Wait. Why did I think there was an archer somewhere? I have no idea. Yeah, we only have 3 minions, so... Yeah, really unfortunate with the movement. I hope they maybe, you know, maybe the dev is a purist and he doesn't like analog movement at all, which would be okay, I guess. But I still think you should add an option. It should be an option, definitely. Maybe they could even put a remark, makes the game easier or whatever under it, but I don't care. It basically is bad game design to not have it, and yeah, I don't even need to play the game a lot to know that, because if the movement is not good, it is not good. Okay, so now it homes on minions. We have a lot of homing here. One thing I'm also not sure about is the fact that, well, it's something that Vampire Survivors basically dodges by having infinite scrolling levels. The problem is your character is gonna go off-center when you hit the edges of the screen. of the level, not the screen. And I think that is very unintuitive, because usually your brain is going to be centered, you know, it's just going to focus on the middle and everything's going to be around it. And putting the character off center definitely changes how you are going to have to think about your positioning. And in my opinion, it actually is not a good idea. I mean, I know why they did it, but it does feel a bit more unintuitive to play as a result. So you can't really just, you know, focus on the middle of the screen at all times. You really have to think about, where am I on the screen? When is the scrolling gonna stop? And I think that is probably something I would have preferred to be maybe handled differently. Maybe even just have one screen that doesn't even scroll or something. I don't know. It is difficult because it has, of course, the advantage is that you're going to see more relevant stuff this way, but it's going to make it feel very difficult to track your character, maybe when there is a lot going on screen, because you always knew in Vampire Survivors that you are going to be at the center of the... I don't have a spell. Right, we can dash. I completely forgot about that. So now we can iframe dash through enemies, which is going to be a huge help, actually. I hope, at least. Yeah, and unfortunately we can't really dash in all the directions, but... Okay, new Necromancy. Raise Majestic Doppelganger, who has the miraculous ability to cast random spells. I mean, I guess that sounds cool. So, did you just debuff everybody on screen? Maybe. We have a crown, which is... Oh no, we died. I'm an idiot. Yeah, so I think that there is some design decisions that were made which I might actually dislike, but that doesn't mean the game's not going to be fun. It just means that there are some things I would have tried to handle differently, especially the movement and the character centering, which basically makes the game a little bit harder to play for no real reason beyond design. Okay, yeah, sure, why not? Breathtaking distances. Well, that sounds amazing. We have 93 gold, which probably will not let us buy anything, right? They're just, yeah, they are ordered by increase in price, but not when it comes to the upgrades. So this might be cheaper than this one. Okay. Visibility options. Oh yeah, that's cool. You can actually change stuff like that if you want to. And it's always a good idea, I think, to add some options as a, you know, physical representation in the game instead of just an option menu, because some people might just miss it. And this way they get, you know, the opportunity to maybe just stumble upon it. Yeah, I definitely think that the sucking mechanic is one of the most important ones to level early, because you're basically gonna... And the dash, I guess. I think maybe the ordering basically is how important it is. I think the first three are... Well, the first one maybe not as much, but the second, the dash and the sucking is probably amongst the most important basic features. Spear charges, their way piercing multiple meaty minis. Yeah, so he basically just dashes, and he seems to be teleporting before doing so. Probably not at infinite range, I guess, or maybe at infinite range, I don't know, that's pretty strong. Yeah, that's cool, let's just upgrade him. Yeah, now he just has more dash. So I like that you can actually just, you basically just have better versions of your minions. I think 3 tiers maybe, and that just is a very cool way to you know, to focus on a playstyle, because if you just can summon everything once, it's pretty boring, because you know, you're just gonna get like a hot pot of minions. But this way you can actually try to think about if it's better to get new minions, if you want to go for synergies, or if you just want to have one strong dude that has a synergy with something else you maybe have. So it is a very good decision not just to add new minions. Yeah, and it's very cool because the minions themselves change a lot how you move about the level. And one of the biggest gripes with the Vampire Survivors was that basically everything was centered around you, which often even led to situations where you could just stand still and it was the optimal play as long as you could kill the enemy fast enough. And yeah, I think that was pretty boring. And here, I think that's not going to be as easy to achieve because your AI is just going to jump away. Might be annoying, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a bit more RNG here, but could still be cool. Okay, Molotov cocktails are pretty cool. Yeah, the visibility not being centered in the screen is definitely something you have to get used to. And I think it is, in my opinion, not good design. Unfortunately, together with the movement, I think it makes it way harder to actually track your character movement. Yeah, so I have to actively look at my character instead of the enemies because I really need to know where I am. A bomber bone bolster relapse more explosive. Okay, it's just an upgrade. Wait, this song here, I think was an 8-bit rendition of a Donkey Kong song. Well, partially at least. Wait, we got 2 level ups. An unknown relic. Demonic sigil. Attack speed of all demons and die legion by 5%. However, die max. Ooh. Okay, that sounds pretty good actually. I don't care about HP. You die so fast anyway, so who cares? As long as I don't get one shot, it doesn't really matter. Vault Caller, just an electro ball. Okay, so we are basically trying to complete the. You know, we're trying to find new stuff. We're not trying to play good. When we're trying to play good, we're not trying to find any synergies or anything. We're just trying to fill up the encyclopedia. I can't actually fucking talk. I'm sorry. Boost Boneraiser's chance of being offered bro minions by 25%. What? I don't know. What is a bro minion? Maybe it's a certain type of minion and you can basically try to get more synergies by altering the probabilities of them showing up, maybe? I actually have no idea. Yeah. And also a problem with the positioning of the character being off-center is basically that when you go into the upgrade screen, you have to remember where the position was. You can't just assume you're in the center of the screen. Oh, I'm so dead. I'm so dead. Okay, so I think it is a new... Wait, it is still not a local high score? Really? Wait, how many points did we make the first time around? Okay, so the archer minion seems to be pretty OP. Yeah, so here we can basically learn to cast, put up to 3 reserve spell scrolls. Okay, so we are unlocking pretty basic features here, I guess. A what? A barrow boner? I mean, it's a very horny game too, so if you like boners, you're gonna be happy here. Well, that sounds pretty okay, I guess. Okay, so we're unlocking very basic features, which is, by the way, fine. It just makes the start of the game very, very difficult compared to what it will be later, which is good because I think the game is simple enough to warrant a progression system that actually motivates you to grind. Jingle Bellet? I don't know if there's an H missing. Which hangs a consecutive gang emanating from the... A gong emanating from the... Okay, from me? Oh yeah, from me. Oh, it is basically... Wait. It is basically, I don't know, what is it called? Garlic, but only with a very low frequency. Yeah, garlic in Vampire Survivors was pretty good, I guess. And here we can get the same thing. That's cool. So now we basically are in control of where we're gonna kill the enemy. It seems pretty good, actually. Yeah, and it also has knockback, which is pretty nice. Wow, now it's pretty OP, right? It's gonna... Okay, so they're pulsating. There are 3 waves. And it has a longer cooldown in between them, the 3 attacks. No idea. I have no idea which one I prefer. I actually would prefer to be centered in the screen, but... Yeah, maybe if I had bought the game like in early access right when I saw it. I saw it pretty early, so I already had it on my wish list like a year ago. But I thought like, yeah, let's wait for it to be out of early access. But maybe if I was early enough, I could have influenced maybe some decisions like the analog movement. I don't know if the dev would have been open to listening to those propositions, but haste spells. Okay, that's interesting. Actually, that sounds insanely good. Yeah, because I think the game would definitely feel better if you could actually control the character in a non-clunky way. I'm actually dead, right? Never mind. Yeah, why not? I don't know if it's better to buy more minions or to upgrade your minion. Corrupted Relic, Ethereal Accuracy. Chances of opportunities to bone raise ranged minions. Okay, so we basically are gonna play long range from now on. And I'm not sure if it's actually better. I have no idea. So I have no idea what is a good synergy in this game. I mean, the Bell, I think the Bell minion so far seems to be one of the most OP early game minions, at least. Speedy haste spell more quickly, okay. Yeah, I think this one is pretty good. As long as we can one-shot the enemy. If we can't one-shot the enemy, I think it's going to be pretty bad. I think there is a potential synergy I can see here. And the synergy is basically with... Okay, you can tell the cooldown by the color of your robe. When we're blue, we can't dash. Yeah, so basically I think there might be a potential synergy with weakening field on the ground combined with the pulsating bell minion. I have no idea. I mean, this looks pretty good so far. Okay, now there is a new enemy type, which seems to be pretty insane. Okay, we're pretty bad against this one because we are close ranged. Okay, there seems to be a boss. Bombers away. Controls bomby beggar bombs that are chucked away from D. Okay. So now we can cast spells when we are in a pinch, I guess. Yeah, I like the archer a lot, actually. It might actually be the best minion so far I saw in the game. Oh man, that is so good. The dash is also very good. Okay, wait, this is the boss, I guess. And we can see its HP bar on the right side of the screen, which is interesting. Maybe to obfuscate less of the screen, because it could also have been in the bottom. There's nothing there, so... I mean, I'm gonna try to, you know, I mean, this is pretty easy. It's just, this is a very basic bullet hell fight. Even with the clunky movement, we can easily, I think, beat that guy. Yeah, one of the issues I have now is that I'm melee ranged. I mean, the Bell Demon is, and I don't want to come close to him because he actually seems to be very annoying. Close range. Yeah, let's just keep our distance, and it's gonna take a little bit longer. I mean, there might be more points if you are quicker, but there's no way we're gonna go close to this guy. Yeah, so, I mean, we are not as strong because we have 3 upgrades which are not hitting him. So I would suspect the fight to be a little bit quicker if you actually... I really don't like that you can go under the level. That you can actually be obfuscated by the wall down here. Okay, so yeah, this one. I don't like this. You should not be able to disappear from screen. Janine is back, and I'm gonna open the door, and then I'm probably gonna eat. So when we die, it's gonna be the end of the run, and I hope we die soon. Okay, so I'm not gone yet. I'm not gone yet. I'm gone in the next maybe few seconds when I die. All meta means I suffer from pausing, from blight, slowly damaging them. But how can I actually select a different one? I don't know. For a brief moment, become stronger and worse. Okay, so I don't know. How can I change what I do? Wait, I just cast a super fireball, which is pretty cool. But how can I toggle the spell I'm using currently? Well, we can use the spell, but we can't really change it, right? So... Okay, so they're swarming in pretty aggressively here, and I'm gonna die, right? No, I'm not. I have 3 HP, which is... Wait, unlocking? Oh, that's cool. I think it is a very good game, though. Even though I have some gripes with the basic design when it comes to input and camera controls, I still think that it works very well. So I think the arrows are... Wait, did I summon them? Oh no, I died because I cast my spell and I actually died. Well, local high score, number 1. We're first here. And we rose by 10,000 ranks online, which also shows that we're still pretty ass. But I must remind you, it is a roguelite, and we will get a lot stronger when it comes to meta progression. Will I be playing the game exclusively on stream? Actually, we might not be playing the game exclusively on stream because I might just play it a bit later when our internet is pretty shit, or I just have a few minutes. So yeah, basically we're probably gonna... Next time you're gonna see me in this game, I'm probably gonna be destroying the enemies. I don't know, maybe not. We're gonna still be sucking... We're gonna still suck ass, maybe. Okay, so thank you everybody for watching. Tomorrow, maybe, or later, maybe no stream, I don't know. Because we might transition to DSL tomorrow if everything works out. I don't know, they didn't contact me as far as I know. Nope. So maybe he'll show up at 8 o'clock, I have no idea. So maybe all day no stream, because we're gonna boulder tomorrow, even in the evening. Or maybe it's gonna work out and we're gonna be on DSL. Or you're gonna be back on Vodafone, because we're actually not gonna have to unplug it. So we're gonna have cable and DSL at the same time. So basically we can stream, but I would prefer to stream after the DSL is up. Yeah, so thanks for watching and see you soon. And tomorrow probably also an English stream if we stream, because there is no game I want to play at the moment, which is in German. So the next German game is very likely gonna be Resident Evil 4 next Friday. Yeah, thanks for watching and see you pretty soon.